Tiernan, you've been the Larne manager for the last month or so. How has that been going so far?
It's a lot of hard work. You spend a lot of time on the phone, talking to players, chasing players, trying to convince players. But a lot of positives in it also.
Your first role in management at this level, although you've been at Glentoran for a long time before that, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I was assistant manager at Glentoran for 5.5 years. I had a lot of good times at the club. We were lucky enough to get into Europe 3 times. We won 2 Irish Cups, and it just got to the stage now where I felt it was time to go and cut my teeth and come out on my own.
What's attracted you to the Larne job?
I think it's a big club, first of all. I think it's a big club that wants to be back in Premiership football. I think there's a lot of hard work that has went on in the last number of years, both on the field and off the field, and I'm just hoping that I can step in and give it that last little push to bring it to the next level.
We're obviously quite a while away from the next season, but obviously plans are in place and work continues. How's that been going for you so far?
There's big plans in place for the club, which is one of the reasons why I was excited about the job. We're trying to do things slightly different. Our plan is to try and make the club full time. We are going to work with a younger group of players. We're looking at it in and around that 18 to 22, 23 mark. We feel that there's a lot of players out there who, for many different reasons, haven't been lucky enough to play first team football at Premiership level, and Championship week in, week out, and full-time training, full-time coaching, that we will be able to make the step forward.
And that's the plan, to try and work with young, hungry players who want to either make that step up or step back to the Premiership possibly.
Yeah, my full-time job is I work in development football, and I work with 16 to 19-year-olds, and there's huge potential in a lot of those young players, and I totally understand the difficulties that managers have, especially in the Premiership, where they can't always take chances on the younger players. Their jobs are on the line, and I'm hoping to provide that platform for that age group, where they can come into the Championship and prove their worth. And I think it'll be twofold. It'll benefit the players, it'll benefit Larne, and I think it'll also benefit the other clubs.
You're hoping the nucleus of the squad will be, built around local young players?
Not just local young players, no. Yes, we have with big plans. We're doing some work with Larne High School at the moment that will hopefully encourage a lot of young local players, but we're also looking further afield. We have a couple of international players that are going to come in the coming year, and again we've linked education into what we're doing, so it's very exciting times, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes at the club, but hopefully for the better.
And Larne Youth and Larne Olympic and the first team have kind of worked together well recently. You're hoping that will continue, presumably? Yeah,
very much so. I think the youth are the key to moving the club forward. Unfortunately, Larne don't have an awful lot of money where they can go out and buy players or throw big salaries at players, so we have to create our own, and I think that's very beneficial to us, because there's a great setup there in Larne Youth. I know that there's talk of like 400 young players that are all at the club, so I think we'll reap the rewards from that.
And obviously the Championship can be a difficult league. Portadown having come down out of the Premiership, and the likes of Institute and Portadown, how confident are you be able to sort of cope with the rigours of Championship football?
I think it's going to be difficult. I know it's a very physical league, but we will be encouraging the players to play. We want to put a brand of football that those who pay in on a Saturday get their money's worth. We also understand that this is a process. This is going to take a little bit of time. A lot of these players are going to be playing first team football for the first time. They're going to have to come to terms with the physical side of it, but there's still a lot of football can be played, and we want to encourage that.
And when are you hoping sort of things will start to fall into place in terms of maybe the players you bring in, or those that you'll confirm and move things forward that way?
I think things will start moving daily now. I've been talking to a lot of clubs, and I've been talking to a lot of players, and this is a difficult week. The season has pretty much just finished, so a lot of the Premiership clubs would be dealing with players and who's going and who's coming in. I'm talking to some of the clubs about loan players. So I think over the coming weeks you'll definitely see a lot more signings coming into the club.
And just off the pitch, who will you be bringing along with you to help in the coaching management side of things?
Well, definitely at this stage, my brother Seamus will come in as the assistant manager. Seamus obviously was part of the first team management squad at Glentoran, and I think his coaching ability speaks for itself.
Okay, Tiernan, thanks for your time. Thank you.